Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Friday, July the 8th. And apologies for being late. It's just the way that it worked out this morning. But yeah, I do apologise for that. The 4-hour chart for the ASX here. This particular count here, having it as wave 3 here, the A wave, an A and a B and a C wave makes sense to me. And then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 moving a bit higher. So we'll come back up to this level here, the 6,700 or a little bit higher. And this particular count is also in line with the US market, saying the Nasdaq here is the A, the B and the C wave here. Now, once we get those 5 waves here and this C wave here, anything above that will have to turn bullish at that point. Okay, that will go same for the ASX as well. If we go past 5 waves here, we'll have to go bullish. But I find that a little bit difficult to do when I look at the bigger picture. It just doesn't, and we will look at the bigger picture. I'll just tune this in here. It just doesn't make sort of sense at this stage for us, because we're going to bring this wave 4 over to here, and just clean these up here because, you know, if I look at this here, you know, the only wave that could be the low here is that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, but the wave 4 overlaps wave 1. It's not a big deal these days. We've seen that before in the ASX, but anyway, just filling you in. This is a nice strong 3rd wave, isn't it? So it's just logical to have the 4th wave, you know, and the 4th wave pulls back, you know, 40%, 50%. So there's 38.2% here, 50%. 50% is fine when you've had a big emotional event, you know, and wave 4 is really unwinding those threads, those emotional threads of that relationship that you've had with whatever. I'm still kind of happy to, you know, have this market have as wave 4 and wave 5 down. I need to tick more boxes to go bullish at this point, you know, but we will be going up for a little while now, probably for a week maybe. So I should really put the splash page for the video as bullish, but I just feel that we still need to call it corrective to be cautious, you know. So back to the 4-hour chart here in that regard. So the A, the B, we could probably even look at this as 1 and 2 as well. So that's sort of, I'll just put that there. There's probably a case for that, but I'm just going to dull it out. Something I'll just need to mull over a little bit later. But normally there is some sort of relationship between the time and the size and the amplitude and all those sorts of things as wave A to wave C here. So if I'll put that just on the 6,500 here, one's above, one's below. So we could end up at 6.9 or, you know, I mean 6.8, 6.9 there. So anyway, that's kind of interesting at that point. I'll just put that there to there, just so I know that I've looked at that. So it could go up a bit higher than expected. We could box it in. That could help. You could do a better job than me on boxing it in there, but yeah, it depends on how long that takes, you know, to move up there. On the 1-hour chart, 1111, it'll look a bit like this. So I've got the B wave sitting here, because it does make a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for that, you know, so I'm happy with that. We'll go with that. But here we'll look at that as wave 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 in here. And then wave 3, I don't think we're at wave 3 just yet. Then there'll be wave 4 and wave 5 to the upside to make wave 3, and then wave 4 and then wave 5 coming up here. So it'll be something like this here. So yeah, I mean, bullish, so to speak. So the 6.7 is at 6.7, yeah, 6.7 here. We can use that to go long again on here. We looked at going long yesterday. Let's just go into the 100 ticks. I remember it came down pretty hard, didn't it? So let me just get in a bit more info here on this. Okay, so now we're looking at this as the B wave here, so I'll just plonk that in. I'll need to do other work to that. We've still got that as wave 1, and we're looking at this as an ABC for wave 2 here. That's okay. And then yesterday we were thinking about going long and short, obviously, but I think obviously I'm out of whack here, so that's where we were when we were talking about things. So we were talking about wave 5 coming in, so that came in a little bit shorter on that, and then we're looking for the ABC pattern that came down pretty hard and fast, didn't it? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, because I looked at that, I thought, oh yeah, that happened quick. So that was that. That probably caught us. That would have been a little bit of a shock to folks. And then we're looking to go long above here. Hopefully that you may have gone long above this high here on that. You may still be long at the moment. Everybody does different things. So, but that in mind, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if that's a wave 1 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're close. So what we're talking about here, though, is we're talking 1, 2, 3. Is that too many? 3. Wave 4 is going to be here somewhere, and then wave 5. So the extension's in wave 3. So wave 1 here and wave 4 to 5 will be roughly the same. And that will also be wave 3 up there as well. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 coming up here. So I think it could be a little bit longer than we're actually thinking, but just see if I've made any major mistakes. So that will be 730 there. That's the top of group 1, and I'll put it in here too, because these are the levels that you need to scale into to go long. And if Friday closes strong, then Monday's going to follow through on that. We don't need that 50. That can go to that one. That's group 2 here, so group 2 could be 65 and 72 in here as well, but that will become the support. This will become the support for that. So my next question really is, what is that? That's probably a little bit cheeky, that doing that, I think. Okay, so I'll have to come back here. Yeah, we might need to put that top in, and that would be, it's just a little bit, we'll make a nice little ABC in here for that, I guess. I'll just go with that for the, I have to go conservative, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means that from here to here, that's the 38.2%. So that can come back to, that's your buying opportunity there at 667.0 roughly. And that should take us up here. We need to look for a larger classic trading levels pattern here, which is going to be, that might not go as high as we want there. How high is that compared to that? Little bit there. Let's just shorten that up a little bit. Yeah, because I'm thinking that we're going to end up as just a little bit, I could be wrong, I'm just being conservative here, okay, so, and then up to 6.8. But I think we're going to be bullish longer than this too. It'll just depend on how quick Apple and Bitcoin and all that move, you know, because Bitcoin here, just to give you an example here, we've got from this little move here, we've got 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 here, going up to 3. We need 4, 5, and so a lot of that will happen over the weekend, I guess. But this is all the same timing. That's all I'm saying about that, and Apple's the same as well. But yeah, this will be okay. That's sort of, it suits. So the trick is not to lose money in wave 4s. You know, this is really where you want to come out here. But I draw this pattern, and this whole pattern here of 4, 5 could be pushed further up and sitting on here, you know. So I think as long as you're prepared to take some heat, then you'll be sort of okay. If you're long at the moment on all of this, it's just, if you're going for the longer haul, because you would have anyway, that you need to get that to break even, and then you're going to take some heat on this here. Can I see inside of that pattern there? Six, 666. It's not actually the devil's number. It's got to do with Fibonacci. But I suppose that the church poo-hooed any science of the day. Calling it the devil keeps people away from being educated, I guess. So look, that's going to be the support area there for that. It looks bearish at the moment, but it will come back. It's just there. How complicated? I don't know if that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just delete that. That could. It doesn't look like 5 waves off the low there, and then that's overlapping that. I think we just need to be prepared for a bit of a rally back to that supply zone here, and then another little move down at that point. So just take that on board. So any long positions you're going to do are going to have to be, I mean, this is where all the support is, all this here, that's your support, and then this will shore up the support, because that support will eventually come back in over here and give you a better buying opportunity on that support over here. So yeah, if you're going long, you'll just have to have smaller position sizes until you get over here. You know, this is the one that you want over here for this, and over here and all of that. So any profits you get up here might be good to take some off, unless you get a classic trading levels pattern on top of group 1 67.30, then you can go long from that point. Okay, so anyway, we're in a bullish trend. We're going up to 6.8, possibly 6.9, and yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up at this point. Okay, so over to CBA. So with CBA, we're doing the same thing as well. We're looking for wave 4 to come up here. So an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. So that's got further to go up. So I'll just leave that. That's where it is. Same as the ASX, really. And over to the metals. So we talked about yesterday that we would be getting a bounce. So we're getting the bounce. That bounce will probably, between that high and that low, we can expect it to come back to the 61.8%. I'll have to check this later, and the other one, just in case this is 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 to that point, so then we'll come back higher at that point. But we'll just see. I think that's okay at that point. I won't panic. I'll just leave that there. And BHP, this move down from the top here down to the bottom here, the 61.8% is kind of around the 41 area here, so you can expect it to go to the 41. US BHP, how did that fare overnight? That was up as the ADR, but we're also expecting a bounce off that as well. Ended up closing lower than it opened. That was interesting. So between that high and that low, we're looking for 61.8% retracement level. So that's okay. That's good. That will be the same there. It'll be the same for the other dudes. So from that top to that bottom, back up here, the 61.8% will be at 102, 103 at a guess at that point. So we'll just see how that goes. The move up was on lower volume. So we'll see how that plays out today. And FMG here also between that top and that bottom, 61.8%. So that's about there. It's also on lower volume at this point. We'll see how that plays at the end of the day. If the 18 became the support, then I'll pull all this apart on the intraday and have a bit of a look at it. But that's where we are for that at the moment. And this is XLE here. This is the energy sector for the US, and the reason I want to talk about this is because we're going to have a quick look at crude and gas and Santos and Woodside and get a bit of a gist on that. There's two things that I need to look at here. First of all, which I haven't quite got my head around, is one that we could be wave 1, 2 here, down for 3 here, and A, B, C for wave 4, and then down for wave 5. And if we're coming down for wave 5, then we've got this in here that we were looking for yesterday. We've got wave A here, and that means we're going to come up for wave B over here. Okay, so that's good. The other count for this is that we need to look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. So that 5 comes in over here, and then the A wave comes in over here as well. So I'll just copy those and put those there for the moment. This is the original count we had, and then that would make wave B here. We could even put it over here, it doesn't really matter. And if that's the case, then like Rio and BHP and all the rest of it, we count 5 waves down here. We come back to the 50-60% here as wave 1 and 2 here, and then we go down from that point. It does appear that we're getting a 5-wave move from that point there, so that's kind of interesting. So that will be, I'll just treat that all as wave 1 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So I'll just see how that plays out. But just to let you know that if you're long in crude and these markets, then you'll just need to be a little bit careful. So this is crude oil here. Yesterday, as I mentioned, we were looking for wave B as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought there may have been or may not be one more little move here, but obviously that's, that sorts that out. Yeah, we'll close on that. So that's playing out here. That means that, well, once again too, we could look at this as a more bearish picture as well. We just need to be a bit mindful of that, of pulling back to that 50-60% and then dropping from that point. It's just one thing that we need. I mean, we need to have it there just for a moment. Otherwise, we'll go into wave D here, and that will be the A wave up here. So let's just see if we get 5 waves here first, shall we? And then we'll bring this back for the B wave and the C wave at this point. Missed it. Let's see if we get 5 waves here first, and then we can buy the B wave back and trade the C wave up at least, you know. And the gas markets are kind of same as well. So I feel probably a bit better that this one we've got 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for third, fourth, and we're coming to the only other thing that I had here before is that I did count 5 waves down to this point, and then I changed it to 4 here. But I'm kind of wondering, oh no, it should be all right. Yeah, so we've got to put this in here. Where do we put it in? Do we put it here and put that over here? Is that how we do it? You know, I haven't actually sort of pulled that apart a bit here, but we won't be far off that in one way or another. So the question here is that, because yesterday when we spoke, I wasn't sure how this was finishing off. Do we get one more little low down here, or do we call this in the low over here? That sort of also makes, in fact, that makes sense to me, but then that kind of gives me 5 waves to the upside. So yeah, there's some boxes that I need to be ticked out here, but that would be the 1, the 2, the 3, the A, the B, the C for 4, and then down for 5. And we talked about going long there at least anyway. So this is probably, you need to get out here. Now, what will probably happen is that this will be an ABC coming down here, and it'll probably do that, and then we'll have an ABC pattern here. But it could also fail from that point there as well. So just get out for the time being, and or unless you've got other plans, or you can see something that I'm not seeing and I haven't spent a lot of time on it. It does look like it wants to go up a bit further, so based on that, let's just look at that. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and there'll probably be another low in there. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to that point. So we've got this. This is the one here, because I'm thinking that we've got this as 1 and 2 in here. But if that's the case, then I could probably take it from there. I wouldn't want to take it too much further. So it could pull back further into here. Can come back into 6-1. So anyway, if you want to hold that through or work it out or count that up there and so on. But if you do get to there, that's you need to take the money at the table there, because we're looking for 5 waves up. And it could be that this is part of it here, because that's the low, you know, like wave 1 here and A, B and C here for that. So there could be more to it, you know. Just not quite sure about all of this here just yet on that. But that's where that is. So that means that the gas stocks that we're looking at, so with Santos here, we've got this long trade here, this long trade here, and that's at around the 722. So if you want to put a stop on that one here, or just exit now, so we've got those two locked in there for that. I think we'll go down further. I mean, technically the stop here shouldn't really be at 22, it should be at 24 or 27. So if you want to put it at 27, let's just do that, shall we? It's 20, it's not a big deal. 27.3, 27 or something, just above. Don't want to put it at whole numbers, otherwise you've got to go above 28 at that point. So hopefully it should stay under the 720 and be pulled back at that point, but I'll leave that up to you. It's just all subtle stuff. And here I was thinking before the market opened to exit here, so we're going to exit this here at the moment. So we'll just exit there. Time the video comes out, I want to look after that. It's probably just bouncing and not doing much, and eventually go through, but I can't risk it at this point. It looks like this is, I can see that we've got 5 here, then we've got an A, B, C over here, then 1 and 2, and probably 1 and 2 here, and then go down. But I'll find another way back in. I just don't, rule 1 is don't let a profit turn into a loss, you know. But you can have a higher stop if you want. So that's that. That's gas out the way. So over to the gold area, we're going to get a bounce. I don't know if that's a wave 4 or wave 2. We'll just let it play out a little bit, but there's still further to come down. And like I said, that 28 is really the main number there. So while that is not the tested support, then the trend is still to the downside for GDX. And also for US spot gold as well. It's just consolidating here. I can see that this wants to push up, and this will just flatline here. So yeah, it's still got further to go down. So there'll be some sort of rally, but yeah, still further to go down. And this is really all about the 750 area, and 5 being the second strongest number. So that's where we're going to see some pattern play out across here. So it's going to stick to it for a while, so it'll do that. And Newcrest mining, well, it's at $20, so that's going to stick to that like glue. And we're going to see some bouncing around, so expect it to come back to 21 at minimum, and that's where that is. And this is the US dollar index here. So I still think that we're in a bullish trend for the US dollar index, so that would still put the Australian dollar in a bearish situation. But in the short term, like now, we're going to see, we've seen the US dollar do this, and then we've got some sort of corrective move here. So I'm assuming that the wave 4 that I was talking about yesterday for this will be I don't know if I talked about it in this video, I can't remember, but anyway, we're going to be pulling down, which is going to leave the Aussie dollar to the upside. So and I still don't know how to count, the best way to count this here as well. It's sort of got me by the short and curlies. I've looked at it inside out. I still haven't resolved it. But with the US dollar index moving to the upside, you can take that breakout on that trend line here. But what will also happen here too likely is normally it'll go up and then come back and check it and then move up. It can check it twice too, by the way. So you just be mindful about that with your stops, okay? Because it's just like a trading level going sideways or on an angle. It needs to find it as support at some point, but you can go long at that point. Just keep it small because it's a corrective move on the US dollar. Okay, alrighty. Look, once again, apologies for being so late with all of this, but not the end of the world. But I do apologise. Cheers.